Over the last few years, I've been gradually becoming more and more of a fan of relaxing games. Games like Minecraft, Stardew Valley, and Rune Factory have encouraged me to look at other games that have this no-pressure experience. So I thought, why not give Animal Crossing a try? I've never really played any of the games, but it seemed like something I'd like. I actually saw some VTubers stream the newest game in the series earlier in the year, and it looked quite fun. And crucially, I also got to try it out around the same time, and the little time I spent playing the game left me with a positive impression. Fast forward to December 2020, and I decided to get the game for myself. I'm really enjoying it so far. You're on a small island and try to develop it. There's no time limit, so you can play at your own pace. As you craft items and gather resources, you'll eventually see your little pitch tent become something a bit more impressive and grand. That's true with the rest of the town as well. Eventually there'll be more buildings like a store and a museum, not to mention more neighbors. Developing the island is a lot of fun, and the more you play, the more you can do as well. Eventually you can also visit other islands or have people visit yours. You can go to other deserted islands too in order to get more resources, which is also a good source of things that you can't get at your own island. The time of day and time of year is synced to real life, so you have actual seasons and day and night time. Some things are time of day and season dependent, for example, the type of fish that you can catch. Overall, it's a fun, no-pressure sort of experience that is really easy to pick up and play. Let's start right at the beginning. You first have to create a character. I somewhat tried to recreate my likeness, but then he started looking a bit like a smug little so-and-so. But one of my friends pointed out that I sometimes do have a smug asshole look going on my face, so consider this a face reveal. You can also choose whether you want a southern or northern hemisphere island. In other words, you can make it so the game matches or has the opposite seasons. I'm not sure if there's a way to reverse day and night though. I mean, you could probably just set the time differently on the Switch, but anyways. You can choose between 4 different island layouts, which seem to be randomly generated. They all have certain things in common and are the same size, so it doesn't matter which one you choose. Like I said in the beginning, you start off small. At first, it's mainly about learning how the game works and getting the island set up. And you can't reach other parts of the island yet, but eventually you'll get into the swing of things. You can get resources like wood, iron, stone, clay, and other things to craft items. Any dug up fossils, caught fish, or caught bugs can be donated to the museum, where they are displayed. You can also sell whatever items you want. The in-game currency is bells. It's like a yen-like non-decimal currency. One of the best ways to make money is to periodically run around the island's shores, gather all the shells, and sell them. Combine that with fruit picked from trees, and it's an easy way to make between, let's say, 4,000 to 7,000 bells in just a couple of minutes. As you play, you'll also earn Nook Miles, which is a rewards program by Nook Inc., which is the company that initially relocated you to the island, runs the store, and all that stuff. The island is basically Nook Inc.'s company town. You get Nook Miles by doing all kinds of things you do normally. There's a big KDF-Wagen-style stamp book showing you your progress. There's also smaller daily tasks that you can do in order to earn miles that rotate through as you finish them. You can use Nook Miles to purchase several things like hairstyles, expressions, crafting recipes, clothing, and various housewares. But perhaps one of the most important ones is the ticket that allows you to visit another deserted island. Every time you go, it's a different island with lots of resources to collect. Basically, pick everything clean before heading back. Every trip requires a new ticket, but 2,000 Nook Miles is not that hard to gather. What I like is that crafting recipes are relatively simple. So unlike some games, you don't need to jump into Hell's anus to get some super rare unexplainium just to color your wardrobe brown. You never need more than a handful of ingredients to make whatever it is you want. You can find, be given, or buy crafting recipes to make more items. I really like this part of the game because there's a ton of items you can make to customize your house with. I haven't gone too deep yet, but decorating your house is a pretty fun part of Animal Crossing. The store also has a daily rotating selection of furniture and various other items available for purchase. As you learn to craft more things, you'll also be able to make items that allow you to traverse all of your island. A vault pole to cross rivers, and a ladder to get to higher regions, for example. One thing I like about New Horizons is that it's quite good at spreading out various things across several days. What I mean by that is, for example, let's say you upgrade your house. Instead of getting it right away, you'll have to wait until tomorrow. If you want to upgrade your house again, then you need to pay off your debt first. This also applies to things like ordering items. You'll have to wait for furniture to arrive in the mail the next day. Resources reset daily as well. Removing some of that instant gratification is a good thing. I know there's going to be people who disagree with me since it takes literally days to get through some of the basics, but is it really a problem? To me, it just makes you more excited for the next day, which I like. For the last several days, I've been turning on my Switch to see the new store open up or the new neighbors move in and all that stuff. It's enjoyable. And in the future, that'll be a nicer memory than playing the game for a week non-stop and never touching it again. So, is there anything I don't like? Of course there are things I wish were different. At first, I didn't like the art style. That's one of the reasons I haven't ever touched an Animal Crossing game before, but footage of the gameplay convinced me to look past that. Despite really liking the game now, I'm still not fully into the visuals. When it comes to visiting deserted islands, I wish you could go to ones that have a different season as yours. That would make it a good way to get summer things during winter, or the other way around. But it seems every deserted island I've been to has been winter, and I've been to around 10 or so. Also, despite saying that I like how things are spread around several days, I do think it would be nice if there was a little bit more to do while you're waiting for something to be built or whatever it is. Especially at the very beginning. It's a bit of a minor complaint, but people with more time on their hands might find the start to be a bit on the slow side. Other than that, I can't think of anything right at this moment. Perhaps I just need to have played for longer. I'm sure there's other stuff here and there that I wish could be different. Currently, there's still things I want to do, like do more house customizations and playing around with custom designs, experience the different seasons, as well as dabble with the whole turnip stock market thing. So that's been my experience with Animal Crossing New Horizons for the Switch. Overall, I find it fun and charming. Feel free to chime in on your own experience with the game, and also previous games in the series. I'd love to know some of the difference, as I've been curious as to what the previous games are like. Thank you to all the Patreon supporters for being so generous. You can have your name here on the end card, as well as get updates and early access to videos through Patreon. Links to all that can be found in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.